Good morning, everyone. We'll get started here in just a few minutes. Good morning, everyone. We'll get started here in just a minute, but just posted a quick poll. Something I'm going to talk about today is time management. So if you could take a second and just answer that poll question there that popped up. Do you feel you have a good grasp on time management? Okay. $16 of you voted. Great. Appreciate that. All right, let's get going. Thank you guys very much for being on this call. It is Monday, October 27th, 9 o'clock. And we are in the middle of AEP 2026. I am so glad that you are here. But just keep in mind that I do know we're going to have lower attendance throughout AEP just because we've got obviously a lot going on with sales, and hopefully you do with sales. And if you don't, then this call is a good call for you because we're going to talk about time management and what that looks like moving forward a little bit. So I always want to start the call by reiterating our mission here at Health Plan Markets for you, and that is we are here to serve those that serve others. And we hire by this mantra, we do our performance reviews by this mantra, and we fire to this mantra. So I am hoping that we are delivering on that as the core purpose of our being is to serve you as our agents so you can turn around and serve your clients. So if we are not meeting that expectation, I need to know that so we can adjust course and get this ship back on track in your mind, okay? Here we are. It is another Monday morning, and I did get a note from Tom that it's going to be a little light on training today, but I always like to start off with our training calendar. I have a mission every day actually to learn something new, and whatever that looks like. Maybe it's listening to an audiobook or reading 10 pages of a physical book, or if it's something along the lines of like, taking a master class or watching a YouTube video to, not just like watch a YouTube video, but like something that's going to help you level up in your career. I highly recommend that you do that. So without further ado, to get to our training calendar, as a reminder, you're going to go to learning, and you're going to go down to our training calendar here, and these are all the trainings that are live for this week. I like to put it in week view just so I can see what's going on. We've got some things going on, but it is a little lighter this week as Tom had expected. Today at 10:30, United's doing the SSBCI training. There's been a lot of questions about that. I do highly recommend jumping on that because that is somewhat new. Our contracting team is available for questions and answers from 10:30 to 11:30 today. Tuesday, we've got our devoted training, navigating 2026 special needs plans. That's at 10:30 tomorrow. Ambetter is doing their 2026 health plan sneak peek, if you will, and that's a Spanish session. That's at 1 o'clock tomorrow. We also have Ask Al at 9:30. That's our coffee and chat, your virtual coach in a box, if you will. No, he's not. He's a real person. He's not in the box. So 9:30 on Wednesdays. Come prepared for that. We're going to talk about retention. Our partner at Spark is going to talk about retention, and we're definitely going to tackle that more in Q1 because the madness right now is land grab. Aetna's doing a 2026 retail event readiness. Are you ready to do retail events? That's at 1 o'clock on Wednesday. Thursday, Spark is doing running your 2026 AEP with AI. If you're not using AI, you might be behind already. So take a look at that. That's Thursday at 11. We've got HQ training. That's at 3 o'clock on Thursday. You can check that out. If you have questions about HPM Shop or any selling tools on Halloween, we got Tom Ryan available from 9:30 to 10:30 to help you with our enrollment platform, which we'll talk about a bit today. And then Devoted is going over how to overcome objections. That's at noon on Friday. So that's a training for the week. One foot in the classroom, the other one in the field at all times. Nick, I know that you are running lead trainings. So if you want to post the link to the next lead training, I know people have been excited and maybe have had some snafus with that particular training. I didn't see it on the calendar this week, and that may be intentional, but if you do have a lead training coming up that is not reflecting on this calendar, if you can post that in the chat, that would be helpful. Training is a thing, guys. This is how you level up. This is how you move forward. The top producers are obsessed with getting to the next level. What does that look like for you? Okay. Just going through the chat here really quick. Without the freedom of time management, you are a slave of everything and everyone. That is intense, but sort of true. Happy Monday. All right. Thanks, Al. I'm growing out my beard. I'm trying to catch up with you. I got a little bit of gray in there, but it's working. All right. That is our training. We're going to keep that going. I want to jump over to HPM Shop. This is the dashboard. You all should have this. Remember, you can grab some agent training and reports. But today, because we're going to be talking about time management a little bit this morning, I want to make sure that you're aware of a very important tool that you have at your disposal, and that is your personal URL, your personal website that you can send to people to self-enroll. Okay, you can send this to a Medicare eligible to self-enroll. Okay, now the key to this is if they say, hey, when should you send this? Who should you send this to? Obviously, somebody that is somewhat tech enabled, if you will, somebody that kind of already knows what they want, maybe someone that can navigate the plans, or maybe you've already talked to them about it, or someone that's really self-sufficient, or somebody that's on the fence and you really don't know like if they're going to pull the trigger or not. Usually this comes with a son or daughter or power of attorney. You can send them this information and they can self-enroll. So I want to put that out there. And the reason that this Pearl is important, before I show you how to get to it, is because, first of all, you don't need to have a scope of appointment, okay? But keep in mind, you cannot talk about benefits if they call you without a scope of appointment. So If they say, hey, let me think about it, send me some options, send me your link, cool, you can do all of those things. But if they call you back and say, hey, tell me about this Humana plan, or tell me about this Health Spring plan, right? Tell me about this Cigna Health Spring plan. You're going to need to scope them at that point. You cannot talk about benefits until you scope them. But if you send it over and they're like, hey, I'm really thinking about this Health Spring plan, just send me the link. You can do that. Okay. So that saves you a 45-minute presentation, saves you the scope and all that other stuff. But you can only do it, again, if you're actually, you're not talking benefits. Okay. Just want to make sure that you know that. If they call you and ask you about the plan, you got to do it. Okay. So to get to it, you're going to go down to up at the top where you see your name, account overview. And then on the very left side, you'll see the copy 2026 link and 2025 link. That is your shopping link. That's your personal URL. This is what it looks like. It's got a video up top at the right corner. You should see your name and then the HPM shop logo up top, and they can start shopping on their own right there. So I want to put this out there because maybe we didn't talk about it enough, but I think this is a huge time saver. If you've got a ton of appointments and you're like, man, I really don't know how I'm going to get to everybody. If you come across a person that's pretty self-sufficient, you can ask them too, like, hey, if I send you a link, do you think you can do this on your own? They might say yes, they might say no. But remember, we cannot talk about benefits. You can't send this over to them and then they call you and ask for benefits and then enroll them. And if you don't have a scope, that's going to be a problem. So only do those in those situations that I had clearly expressed. Okay. All right. That is HPM Shop. Everyone should know how to get that. And again, Kelly's asking for a demo. I just showed you how to do that. So hopefully you were tuned in. Again, you go, this is your, you're going to go to your Justin Jacobs. You're going to go to account overview. You click account overview, and then it'll take you to this copy link. Now, if you're sending somebody a link for like an 11-1 effective or a 12-1 effective, you can send the 2025 link, which is here. They live in the same place, but the 2026 link is what I'm sharing with you here. And then this is the customer facing link. Okay. They can switch it to English or Spanish. Okay. And that has your information when they click this link here. So they know it's you, has your phone number and your email address. They don't need to log in unless they already have a login, but they can go ahead and start shopping. So 32801. I think this is what you meant, Kelly. So let me do that. You'll see it pulls up Orange County. I'm not going to be able to go through everything because I haven't even logged into my own. I don't sell anymore. But you'll be able to go ahead and start looking through the plans. Now, they can search for plans. They can filter plans. If they click filters here, they can do all of that. They can filter by particular carrier. So if they're like, I really want that Health Spring plan, it's only going to filter out the Health Spring options in that zip code. Right now, it also shows that it's hiding the special needs plan. So that will add in the special needs plans as well. So you can see how easy it is to get to. Again, you should not be navigating this for yourself, and you should not be navigating this for your clients. We have seen agents get terminated for trying to pull a fast one by enrolling people through this without a scope. Do not do that. Your license is way more valuable than a shortcut. Please don't do that. Really appreciate it. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. If you have questions, send an email to support@askhpm.com, and we will make sure that we get you up to speed on that. I want to also remind you that I have been working very diligently on a podcast that goes into details about a lot of things that I don't get to cover on this call. Episode 3, the agent metrics that matter most, is posted. I did that last week. That's the link in the chat is for the Spotify account. And then this one right here is for the YouTube. So I would really appreciate it if you watch, you like them, and you subscribe to it. If you're already subscribed to our YouTube channel, then you'll get notified. Just make sure that you turn on your notifications if you want to know that I've posted an episode. If you're not getting those pings and dings and you want to, make sure that you go in and you subscribe and turn on notifications for that channel. So it's both on Spotify and on YouTube. I will have episode 4 posted later this week. I am shooting episode 5 and 6 this week. Let me tell you, anybody that does this stuff for a living, I have a newfound respect for them because it is a lot of work. Let me tell you, on top of everything else that I got to do, it's pretty crazy. I think I may have bitten off too much. But there you go. There is the YouTube channel and all that. And then our poll here this morning, do you have a good handle on your time management? 60% of you, we had 20 people vote. 20 people voted out of the 66 of you. 12 of you said, which is 60%, that you do have a good handle on your time management, and 40% of you, 8 of you, said no. So I'm going to publish those results back. Sorry if you didn't get to do that, but I want to share with you a hack, and some of you that were at our agency partners anyway got a gift over the summertime for the Finisher's Journal. And this journal has impacted me in ways that I never really expected to. The biggest takeaway that I would say from this particular journal that I found is the fact that it keeps me ultra focused on the exact things that I need to do for that week, and doesn't take me off task, because we get flooded with things that we have to do. As an agent, you may find this helpful because it does a lot of time blocking, where you can actually sit down and time block all of your appointments. If you're not familiar with time blocking, definitely look into it. This thing will teach you how to do time blocking. It goes through all sorts of fun stuff here. So the biggest things that it does is it sets up your quarter. So this is for a quarter. Right now we're in Q4. So you set up your quarterly goals, no more than 3. It breaks down milestones. It then helps you set up your week. So the first thing you do is you set up like what task, if there is anything that you do in the entire week, what's the one thing that you got to get done, and then secondary tasks. And then you run your days the same way. So what's the one thing that you got to get done today? If you get nothing else done, what's that one thing? And then secondary tasks and then additional tasks and so on and so forth. So the website I'm going to give you in the chat is this right here. Boom. And I am happy to announce that I was able to work out a discount for anybody that uses this code on check-in or checkout. And I'm going to put that in the chat, which is right there. So you get 15% off of your journals. And they're doing a Halloween sale on top of that. So, if you're really like those of you that are already using it, I would definitely recommend, if you're like, man, this thing is on fire for me, go ahead and buy 4 of them for next year. So you're all set. You get a discount on the page, and then you get another 15% with the code that I just gave you in the chat. And for those of you that are listening at home, grab a pen. The code is Justin28526. And that's all one code together, no space. Justin28526. It's in the chat. And if you need that code, you can send it over to support, and we'll get you rocking on that. But that journal specifically has helped me tremendously with time management. I am definitely going to do a whole episode on time management and the tools, tricks, and tricks and tips that I have found that works best for me. So thank you for sharing that. We really appreciate it. As far as like sharing your willingness to say, hey, I'm not so good at time management. It is an art form. It is something to be studied. And if you can master time management, you can master pretty much anything else, because you'll have the time to do it. So with that, I'm done yakking for the moment. I have our good friend Randy Beck from HealthSpring, formerly known as Cigna Medicare. And he's going to get set up here on this call. I just made you a presenter, Randy, so that should show up here in just a second. And then I think Diane might be joining us. I don't see her on here, but I've got you here, Randy. Don't see your camera, but can you hear us okay?
So can you hear me okay now?
Gotcha.
Awesome. Awesome. Is the floor mine?
Yes, sir. So again, this is Randy Beck of HealthSpring, formerly Cigna Medicare. Help me, help me with that, buddy, because I know you guys have a change in identity, and I think people are still getting used to that. But man, it's good to have you on the call. It's been a while. So Randy, if you can introduce folks to who you are and the good news on what's going on at HealthSpring.
Thank you, Justin. I appreciate your time, and thank you, Nick, for the invitation. For those of you who do not know who I am, my name is Randy Beck, and I'm one of the broker managers here in Central Florida for HealthSpring, formerly Cigna Medicare. And for those of you who do not know, a recap on what's been happening with Cigna Medicare since March of 2025. HCSC, Healthcare Services Corporation, purchased Cigna's Medicare division for roughly $3.3 billion back in March of 2025. So the name of the company that we work for now is Healthcare Services Corporation, based out of Chicago, but the plan name is HealthSpring. We're going to focus on the Orlando micro market this year, this AEP and 2026. And for those of you who do not know what the Orlando micro market consists of, it consists of 7 counties. I'll start from the north and work my way down to the south. We have Marion, Sumter, Lake, Seminole, Orange, Osceola, Polk, and Lake. Yeah, so I think I got all 7 counties right there. Mm-hmm. So what I would like to talk about this morning is our core plan. We're going to focus on those 7 counties, and we have 2 plans that we're really going to focus on in 2026. We understand that our D-SNP won't be that competitive because we don't have a food card. We did that on purpose. But the 2 plans that we are going to focus on is the core plan and the preferred savings plan. Now, I'll talk about the core plan. I'll give you some highlights about the core plan, then I'll open it up for some questions. The dental allowance on the core plan is $2,050 annually. And it's going to be the same way as it was last year and years past. It's an allowance. So once the member has exhausted the allowance, then the member will pay for it out of their pocket. But there is no fee schedule. There's no network. So your customer can choose any dentist that they want to go to. Now, for those of you who follow baseball, I'm going to throw you a little curveball. If they choose to go to a Cigna preferred dentist, they can earn up to a 20% discount on top of their allowance. So what it's going to do is going to stretch their allowance out a little bit further. So that $2,050 may go up to, $2,300, for example. I'll talk about the RX for a little bit. On tiers 1, tier 2, there's no deductible. In tier 3, there's a small copay. The core plan, there's $0 for the copay for the PCP and only a $10 copay to the specialist. And the MOOP is a very low $2,000 this year. So I'll say that one more time. The MOOP is $2,000. That's really low. The incentives that the customers can earn is up to $200 annually. And one of the best things I like about this plan is $75 copay days 1 through 5. So that's our core plan from a helicopter view. Our preferred savings plan, the give back, the most important part that people want to know about, the give back is $135 per month. $0 copay to the specialist and $25 copay to, $0 to the PCP, $25 to the specialist, and the MOOP is $4,800. So I'm going to pause there and see if there's any questions, and if not, we can keep going.
Yeah, let it roll, man. I do have a question at the end, but I'll monitor the chat for you too.
So our preferred pharmacies are Walgreens, Walmart, Sam's Club, Express Scripts, and Publix. And you do not have to be a member of Sam's Club to use the pharmacy. Our OTC is $205 per quarter. And remember, as always, if you don't use it, you're going to lose it. We're going to have plans on the East Coast, on the West Coast, and up in Jacksonville, but the plans just aren't that competitive, and that's also done on purpose. South Florida looks pretty much the same way. 1 or 2 plans, not very attractive, but all of that's done on purpose in 2026. It's a reset year for us in HealthSpring, and we're really looking forward to bouncing back and having some really awesome plans in 2027. So with that being said, I'm going to turn it over to Justin and see if there's any questions that maybe I can answer for you.
No, man, fantastic. And guys, just as a note, if you are interested in getting contracted with HealthSpring, if you're not already contracted, send an email over to contracting@askhpm.com, or you can just simply go into HQ under the portfolio and select Cigna HealthSpring. Mike, if you could just double check to make sure we've got their new logo on there, that might be a good thing to do. But Randy, I'm not going to let you off that easy, buddy.
That's okay.
You have a superpower, and a lot of people that know you know of your superpower. But those of you that don't know Randy, he has a superpower, and one of those superpowers is community outreach and just event success. So can you talk about like your journey in that? And I mean, you have a legacy of like really opening doors for agents, especially for agents around HPM. Man, they talk about you like you walk on water, brother, on what you do. So can you talk about like where that power came from, and any tips and tricks that you can share with the team on like how they can kind of do this on their own?
Yeah, thank you for that compliment, Justin. I appreciate it.
Sure.
But the biggest thing is just really thinking outside of the box. You really got to do that because, for example, we can look at move managers. A move manager is somebody who helps seniors move from one location to a next. And when they're moving out of market or out of the micro market, they're going to need a new Medicare plan. So that's just one area that I looked at last year with Miss Turk, and it was really good. It was really good. We did a couple of events with some move managers, and again, it's just thinking outside of the box, Justin.
Yeah, I love that. So a move manager, anywhere where like a person is moving out of or in, like so maybe any of these senior facilities, not the new movers, because that's probably what most agents are looking for. Like, hey, who just moved in here? But maybe the other question is do you know anybody that's about to move out? Right? I don't know. It's just like another angle, I guess.
Right. I mean, if someone's moving from Orange County to Brevard County, that's a different micro market for us. So that's a new plan.
Yep.
That's a new right, and that's a new sale for the broker. And all they really need to do is just go to Google and just type in Move Manager, Central Florida. They're going to find a whole list of people to reach out to and just connect with them and maybe do an event or a talk, T65 or Medicare 101, and have them as your sponsor. And it's a great way to build a new relationship.
That's an awesome tip. So we're at like October 27th. We've gotten through the first, I guess, week and a half of AEP. At this point, I think most agents have kind of tackled those people on their book of business that they had to change, that have been the squeaky wheels throughout the year. And maybe their appointments are starting to slow down a little bit. They're getting through their leads. And so, we're about to roll into November. From your experience this time of year, what do you recommend an agent? What do you recommend an agent do? Because you've seen both sides of the fence here. What would you recommend them be focusing on right now?
Focusing on retention. That's my biggest thing. I will always preach retention. Always do your 30, 60, 90-day calls. Because if they're not doing them, somebody else will. So that's my biggest feedback right now, is just make sure that they, even though it's AEP, retention.
Retention. Okay. And out of those retention calls, is there anything you specifically say to them or anything that you do out of the ordinary that might stick out to them?
Just ask them about their plan and how it's working out for them. And if they have any particular questions, ask them if they're using their benefits, whether it's their gym membership or their home delivered meals benefit if they happen to go into the hospital. Just making sure that they're aware of how to use their benefits for one.
Mhm. So if they don't know how to use their benefits, then, that adds value, right? Like, because you can walk them through how to access those benefits. And so, having that conversation, I mean, obviously you should know how to access those benefits or know somebody that can help you with that. Get them the benefits that they signed up for, right?
Right. One last piece of information that I would like to share with you and your team, Justin, is my Cigna cell phone number is being phased out. So I would like to announce my new telephone number.
Yeah.
So if everybody can write this number down, my new number is 407-702-4494. And I'll say that one more time, 407-702-4494. So anyone can reach me at that number via text or call anytime.
Awesome. We do have a question. Are you in the Tampa Bay market or is there a Randy in Tampa?
Not now, but anybody can call me. Anybody in the state can call me, and I will be more than happy to help them. And if I don't know the answer, I'll go find it for them.
No, I appreciate that. And Randy, what's the best email for you these days?
Right now, it's still my Cigna Healthcare. So it's randy.beck@cignahealthcare.com. And that will probably change in the first quarter of next year. And when it does, there will be a major announcement for it.
Awesome. And we'll keep people posted on that too. One last thing I'll say about Randy is he's an open book. If you're doing events and you're not seeing the success in them, or you don't see the value in doing community outreach or community events, like what he's just saying right there. And that's just like one little thing that he mentioned to do. He's got probably a gazillion tricks out there. I would say just have a conversation. This is an expert, guys. One thing that I want to say is like, we have about 70 people on this call this morning, and I'm really proud of that. And thank you guys for taking time on a busy Monday. And we're bringing experts like Randy in so you can connect with them, so you can level up your game. So have a conversation. Do not be shy. Call him, email him, text him, and ask him the questions. What should I do? Maybe you've never done events before. He's going to put you on the right path right away. Or maybe you've done events and you're like, man, I don't see any value in this, or I've never had any success in this. You're probably doing something wrong. And so wouldn't you like to know, like, this is the Tom Brady of event management. This is the, like he's going to show you how to throw that football. You know what I mean? Like maybe you're just throwing it with the wrong hand. I don't know. But that's what I'm saying, guys. Like take this opportunity to connect with Randy. And again, he's going to want a little bit of love. Throw him some HealthSpring. So if you're not contracted with HealthSpring, let's do that first. And we can get you rolling on that. If you are and you haven't sold anything, then Randy's going to ask you for some love there because that's how he pays his bills. But he will teach you how to go fishing, which is a huge benefit for you overall. But show him some love by putting up some maps. That's all we're saying. So appreciate it. There's one other thing there. Does HealthSpring have it? Well, I guess he's asking, will HealthSpring support Medicare 101 seminars?
Depending on which county it is,
Okay.
and yes, we will help support, but it all depends on which county.
And again, they're not going to support you if you're not contracted. So step
That's
one,
right.
get contracted, please and thank you, so we can get some numbers up for Randy. And he's right. It may not be the hottest pancake in the skillet this year, but there's always, the way that I see it, there's a seat for every butt. There's a butt for every seat. And Cigna does have apps, and there are providers that prefer HealthSpring. For whatever reason that how they're running their operations, they prefer HealthSpring over every other carrier. So you might be in tune with your providers, or if you come across a provider that doesn't have HealthSpring and they're looking to expand or having like issues with other carriers, if you bring them HealthSpring, this is another example, you get them contracted, you own that office essentially, right? So appreciate that. They're asking for help in Georgia. Randy's only in Florida, but just connect with Randy, David, and he can sync you to somebody in Georgia, specific to your market.
I'll be happy to do that. Yep.
Yeah, appreciate that. Cool. Randy, thanks, man. I really, really appreciate you being on this call today. You're a legend, man. I'm not joking. Like everywhere I go, oh, Randy's the man. So you got a fan club.
Thank you, Justin.
Yeah, I appreciate
Take care.
it. You got it, man.
All right.
All right. Everyone else, we are done for today. I very much appreciate everyone's time and attention. Remember, these calls are being recorded and posted on YouTube. So if you do happen to miss one, please go out there, subscribe to those channels so you don't miss anything and you don't miss experts like Randy that can really help level up your game. I appreciate you. I hope everyone has a fantastic and very productive third week of AEP. Have a fantastic day.